Spike McFang is not your ordinary vampire. He's more lovable than scary, and prefers tomatoes over blood. When he's not frolicking in the sun, he's kicking anthropomorphic garlic butt and odd-jobbing bad guys to death with his magical hat. Which is a good skill to have, because bad things are brewing on the islands of Vladimasco. The rogue vampiric Lord von Hessler has kidnapped the other island lords, and it's up to a young tomato juice-sucking prince and his team of totally not Secret of Mana rejects to save the day. The Twisted Tales of Spike McFang plays like a goofy Saturday morning cartoon. It's the expressive animation and adorable art that really sets the game apart from other action RPGs available for the Super Nintendo. But don't worry, the hype surrounding McFang is not solely about the eye candy. You're in for a grueling challenge. Mostly. The difficulty curve is somewhat sporadic. The game eases you into a false sense of security in the initial training stage with its cheesecake enemies and gauntlet of simple minigames. But then the gloves come off, and it's death after death as you dodge traps and fight your way to the poorly placed Easter Island save head. And therein lies my biggest complaint with the title. Most RPGs do the player the courtesy of positioning save points right before the big boss battles, to the point where it's become a trope of the genre. But not McFang. Oh no. The player is forced to fight through a barrage of enemies and traps before fighting Spastic McFlippity Kitten. And when you die, because you will, you'll have to repeat half the dungeon over again. And again. And again. Quickly, you'll realize that the key to success in McFang is to level up your character, upgrade your hat, and stock up on juice. With each level, Spike deals a little more damage and gains another health tomato. They're like heart containers, but tomato-shaped. With a lot of grinding, you'll be in a much better position to take on the bosses. Come the endgame stretch, Spike should be so overpowered that you'll quit caring about the lack of save points altogether. Combat McFang is somewhat unique. Spike flips his cape around in extremely close-range melee combat, and if he flips too many times in too short an interval, he gets dizzy, spins out of control, and spends the next few seconds completely open to enemy attacks. This would make combat an exercise in frustration if it weren't for Spike's magical hat, a handy ranged attack that hovers over enemies and quickly racks up multiple hit combos. The only downside to this maneuver is that it takes Spike a few vulnerable seconds to wind up his pitch, and if he stands too close to the edge of a map, the recoil will knock him back into another screen. But with a little practice and a lot of skill, you'll soon be bravely charging towards legions of python rabbits, you silly sod. Collected GP can be spent on spell cards. While you have the choice of gambling for offensive magic at 20 GP a pop, I'd personally recommend hoarding your coins and stocking up on the less affordable life restoration card, the tomato juice. Sure, the good spells are flashy and deal some quick damage in a pinch, but they're no more effective than your hat, especially once you've upgraded its range and damage. No, the difference between life and backtracking is going to hinge on your ability to replenish health in an emergency. Overall, Spike McFang is a solid adventure with a ton of charm and gorgeous visuals. The perfect match for Secret of Mana fans in need of a quality weekend diversion. Seriously, the game is short. Easily beatable in a single sitting or two. And, like its uncanny successor, one of the few two-player RPGs available for the system. The Twisted Tales of Spike McFang is one pricey gem absolutely deserving of the hype, with its only true downside being that there's just not more of it.